Hey friends, there has been a question that has come up. The question was all about the natural man being an enemy to God, and what does it mean to put off the natural man? So this is what it means to me, and I'm going to put it that way because I'm not the authority about everything, and this is my perceptions. So you get to kind of share, bounce, decide what you think about this. For me, there have been some major shifts in my language of the scriptures and the definitions. I use the 1828 dictionary when I'm studying, and there are words that I know what they are, and then I look in the 1828 dictionary, I find out that my actual definition is very different than when Joseph Smith was translating. I think that is fascinating. So I use the 1828 dictionary. I also have used the Bible dictionary. There was one definition that it was a massive paradigm shift for me, and it plays into this. So a year or so, I guess it was a little over a year ago, I was reading Come Follow Me, and it was all about John the Baptist, and it talks about repentance. And in the Bible dictionary, it said that repentance is a change of mind, a fresh view of God, of oneself, and the world. So it did not say that repentance was a change of heart or even a change of behavior. It said it was a change of mind, which fascinates me. Because if what we need is a change of mind, in other words, what we're thinking about stuff, then the root of all sin is just misperception. It's just misperception. And then what happens is what we think, then we feel something about it, and then what we feel, we take action, and that is the fruits of our sin or the fruits of our repentance. So it's the fruit of our misperception, or it's the fruit of our clear perception. So I just want to take that there for just a minute. The way that God thinks, the way that God perceives, we know that He is all-knowing, and He knows so much more than us little puny humans down here. And He's always trying to get us to knowledge, ready? He says, learn of me. Christ says, learn of me. That's perception. Learn of me. Walk in the meekness of my spirit. Feel the same things I feel because you know the things I know. And then you will do the things that I do. Right? So good. Okay, so if we are all sinners, because none of us understand heaven, then our natural state is to know and understand what we can see, think, and feel right here. So natural man is man that doesn't have heavenly perception. And because of that, is it carnal? Carnal means body. So do we do things that satisfy this physical existence rather than our spiritual existence? Yes. Because in our natural state, think about little teeny tiny babies. It's all about that body, man. It's all about what the gut's doing, or whether or not it's upset, and whether it's hungry, and the sleep. It's all about the physical stuff. It's not until we get older that we start questioning and going, why? We start getting new perceptions. Natural man is just, we don't understand. So how is that an enemy to God? I mean, He made us that way, right? It's an enemy to God in that so I have a friend, and she's got a lot of drama going on with someone, and that's because there's a misperception of who she is or what she's thinking, and the way that she's perceiving a situation. This other person totally is misperceiving it and has made my friend her enemy. So something in the comment where she goes, I think that we're not God's enemy, that we kind of turn this around, that we make God the enemy. I'm going to say yes to that. Have you ever had someone who you are just loving on and trying to love on, and they treat you like the enemy because they don't understand what you're doing, how you're doing, or why you're doing it? Do you have that? So we make God the enemy. When we don't understand things, we make God the enemy. And it says, and we will be that enemy, like enemies with God, until we put off the natural man. So what that looks like to me is saying, this is not going well. What am I perceiving about this person, about the situation that is causing all this? What fresh view of God, of myself, or others do I need? And putting off the perceptions that I have. Taking those and going, I'm going to give you, I want something else, because when you have a new thought and you adopt it as a belief, you change. You become new. So as we were talking, this particular person who's causing the drama is a rebel or a contrarian. I like that a little bit better. She's a contrarian. So when you ask her to do something, the initial response is no, because yes is conforming. And so the person, my friend, is asking her to do something, and she's saying no, and then she's blaming my friend for being unkind and all sorts of stuff. Now, that doesn't make any sense, because my friend asked with respect, right? But what happened is she didn't ask with a choice. A contrarian needs choice. They need to say, would you rather do this or this? Or this is happening. I heard you say no to this before. Which one do you want? And giving that choice, that's not mean to a contrarian to give that choice. This particular person is an upholder. So she has systems, my friend has systems and ways, and she's thought deeply about the ways that everything should be. And so the rule, she has rules, is to ask and invite instead of just tell. So she's asking, and yet she's not giving choice. So there's just misperception all the way around. So we were kind of talking this morning about this whole thing, and I brought up about that contrarian and said, well, she probably feels backed up into a corner because either she does it your way or no way, and she needs a choice. So we worked out what would a choice sound like and look like that would be respectful and still keep it there. But when we let go of the perception that she was just being difficult and allowed the perception that she was being exactly who she is, who she was made to be, who she came to this earth as, both of them, and there's a not wrong, just different, and how do we work with the difference? Now my friend had put off the natural man. She's like, hey God, what do I need to know so that we can resolve the issue? So the very, very first thing that Satan did, the sin, was doing something without God. Taking that fruit from Satan's hand rather than God's hand. Believing that to do things without heavenly knowledge. So Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ, they said, hey, go around, run around, play, have some fun in this garden. We'll come back and give you some more understanding in a bit. And they left. They never gave that further understanding because Satan jumped down and taught them that it's okay to do something without God. I'm not talking about Father. Here, have some fruit. And so what if what needed to happen was that God and Christ were going to give that fruit? And that when Eve said, is there no other way? It was the father of lies that said there's no other way. What if that was a half-truth? What if there's no other way for you to have children? But there is another way to gain this knowledge. And by taking it from God's hand, you have all of the positive and understand that negative exists. But taking it from Satan's hand, you experience the shame. You experience the shame. And you know that God and good exists somewhere. That's what the shift was. Doing it without God, taking things from the wrong hand. So, natural man just believes that all they are is human. and they don't understand that they're divine spiritual beings, and that the source of knowledge about heavenly divine spiritual things is God himself, and that we need to put off what our understandings are and say, hey, can you tell me about heavenly things and stuff I need to understand about the situation? Could you do that for me? Help me. He loves help me. He loves it when you say help me. That to me is putting off the natural man. Help me. Help me understand this. So I hope that helped. I shall see you later. It was good to be here with you. Any other questions? Please, 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 please give me some questions so we have something to talk about. Okay? Comment on this. Let me know how you think.